She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Hey guys, Moch here, and today I'm bringing you my post-Pro Day NFL mock draft. Now, without further ado, let's get started. With the first overall pick, I still have Trevor Lawrence going first overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And honestly, I think that there is no way Trevor Lawrence is not going number one overall. He will be the number one overall pick, and there's no way that the Jacksonville Jaguars will select anyone else. The only way the Jaguars do not select Trevor Lawrence is if a team trades up for the first overall pick. With the second overall pick, the New York Jets will be selecting Zach Wilson, as I have them still selecting him with the second overall pick, is because Zach Wilson rose up the ranks, passing both Fields, Lance, and even Jones. All of them are behind Wilson, and I think Wilson is a perfect match for the New York Jets to be selected with the second overall pick. And even if it were to be Zach Wilson, it definitely 100% will be a quarterback. Whether it's Mac Jones, Trey Lance, or Justin Fields, there is no way the Jets are not going to pick a quarterback with the second overall pick after trading Sam Darnold. With the third overall pick, we have the San Francisco 49ers selecting quarterback Mac Jones out of Alabama. Originally, I had them selecting Justin Fields out of Ohio State. But due to the fact that Fields has not been doing that well when it comes to this draft process, I think Mac Jones definitely improved during the pro days. And I think that Mac Jones is the fourth best quarterback. I still think Justin Fields is the third. But Mac Jones is the one that fits the 49ers system the best out of all of these quarterbacks. And there's no doubt that I do believe by draft day, Mac Jones will be the third overall pick. With the fourth overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons select quarterback Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. And originally I had them picking tackle Penei Sewell. And honestly, I think that they could select Penei Sewell still. But I do think Trey Lance does fit the Falcons. And it could be a new start for the Falcons. Even though they could pick up Justin Fields, I think that Justin Fields has actually been demoted in the fact that teams are interested. But I honestly think the third best quarterback is Justin Fields, but the best quarterback available for the Atlanta Falcons is definitely going to be Trey Lance. With the fifth overall pick, I have the Cincinnati Bengals still selecting wide receiver Jamar Chase out of LSU, and they do need pass catchers, but they also do need an offensive line. So Penei Sewell could have been an option, but I think Jamar Chase is the better option for the Cincinnati Bengals at this time. Honestly, I think that Penei Sewell, even though he could be selected here, I think that Jamar Chase is a weapon that you cannot pass on when you're the Cincinnati Bengals and you have a young quarterback like Joe Burrow. Yes, you need to protect Joe Burrow, but you also need to give him the weapons. And since you lost AJ Green to free agency, this could be an excellent replacement for the veteran wide receiver. With the sixth overall pick, I have the Miami Dolphins selecting offensive tackle Penei Sewell out of Oregon. Originally, I had them going with Jalen Waddle out of Alabama, but due to the fact that Penei Sewell is still available, why not give your franchise quarterback Tua Tagovailoa a future outstanding offensive lineman for the future, and Penei Sewell is the best one available at this time. Now with the seventh overall pick, we got the Detroit Lions selecting quarterback Justin Fields out of Ohio State. Originally had him picking Patrick Surtain II out of Alabama, but due to the fact that this one is the best quarterback available at this time, and he's still up for grabs, I think the Detroit Lions would be smart enough to grab him and have him learn under Goff maybe, but because I honestly think Goff isn't going to be the future franchise quarterback of the Lions, but that could be also a quarterback that could honestly learn the playbook without having to play and then take over for the starter in the future. Maybe he won't turn out like a Patrick Mahomes where he had Alex Smith, but he could turn out to be the Lions' savior. With the 8th overall pick, I have the Carolina Panthers selecting offensive tackle Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern University. Originally, I'm taking quarterback Trey Lance, but due to the fact that he's off the board, and also due to the fact that they got Sam Darnold, I think protecting Sam Darnold is the next best thing for the Carolina Panthers. And why not start it off with Rashawn Slater, an incredible offensive tackle, which is honestly the second or maybe third best tackle, or better yet, offensive lineman in this entire draft. Picking at number 9, the Denver Broncos select cornerback Patrick Surtain II out of Alabama. Originally had him taking Rashawn Slater, but due to him being off the board, I think cornerback is another position that the Broncos should definitely look after, especially with that weakened defense. And honestly, I think that Patrick Surtain is one of the best corners in this draft, and they will definitely make a difference in Denver. Now, with the 10th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys still pick corner J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. Now, J.C. Horn is one of the best corners. He may be number 2, maybe number 3, or number 4, but I definitely think that he'll definitely be the 10th overall pick to the Dallas Cowboys, as Dallas does need help in the defensive back area. They need some help on that defense a bit. They need to help that offensive line to protect Dak Prescott, and they need is corner help. They need corners. And why not select J.C. Horn with the 10th overall pick, who is considered to be the second or third best, in my opinion, cornerbacks in this draft. Now, with the 11th overall pick, I have the New York Giants selecting wide receiver Jalen Waddle out of Alabama. Originally, I had them taking linebacker Micah Parsons out of Penn State. But due to the fact that Waddle dropped all the way to 11, that is the main reason why I think, why don't you pair Waddle up with Kenny Golladay, who they just signed in free agency? That would be a very good duo for Daniel Jones to work with. I know they need O-line, and I know they need to fix that defense, but I think picking Waddle at 11 is the best option for the New York Giants. With the 12th overall pick, I have the Philadelphia Eagles still selecting the Heisman Trophy winner wide receiver Devontae Smith out of Alabama. Now, Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, yes, he's not the best wide receiver in this draft, but he's the best available, and I think wide receiver is one of the biggest needs of the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, quarterback and offensive line is another, but still, I think that having Devontae Smith honestly will help Jalen Hurts in the future. And if you want Jalen Hurts to be your quarterback, I think picking up some weapons for him is a very good option, but also, you can think of protection for that quarterback as well. With the 13th overall pick, I have the Los Angeles Chargers still selecting offensive tackle Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. Honestly, he's still the best offensive lineman available, and that's the main reason why I think that the Los Angeles Chargers will be selecting him to protect their franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert. With the 14th overall pick, I have the Minnesota Vikings selecting tackle Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. Originally, I had him picking interior offensive lineman Elijah Vera Tucker, but I think that a better option for the Minnesota Vikings to protect Kirk Cousins is Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. He's one of the top offensive tackles in this draft. Top 4, maybe top 5, maybe he's even number 6. As far as I can see, he's the best option at offensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings. With the 15th overall pick, I have the New England Patriots selecting linebacker Micah Parsons out of Penn State. Originally, I had him picking Mac Jones, the quarterback out of Alabama, but due to the fact that I actually had him being selected by the San Francisco 49ers 3rd overall, that is one reason why the Patriots cannot pick him. But another is because Micah Parsons is now available. Honestly, I would have taken a quarterback here, or at least someone on the offensive side, since they no longer have Tom Brady or Julian Edelman. I think that, honestly, linebacker Micah Parsons is the best, or at least one of the best linebackers in this draft. With the 16th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals select cornerback Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. Originally, I had them picking Najee Harris out of Alabama, But due to the fact that most of the owners and GMs are saying that, or they're going to start selecting running backs in the second or third rounds, I honestly think Najee Harris will be picked in the first round, but just not by the Arizona Cardinals. And honestly, Caleb Farley is going to be a good replacement for Patrick Peterson. Coming in at number 17, we got the Las Vegas Raiders selecting linebacker Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. Originally had him taking offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. But due to the fact that he actually got selected, I think that Zaven Collins would be the next option for the Las Vegas Raiders at number 17. He's a very good linebacker that could help boast that defense of the Las Vegas Raiders. I know they need help on the offense, but not as much as they need on the defense. I do believe that Derek Carr and some of their wide receivers, and especially Josh Jacobs, got the offense rolling a bit, but the defense is really in shambles, and I think they do need to work on it. Coming in at number 18, we got the Miami Dolphins selecting edge rusher Jalen Phillips out of Miami. And originally I'm taking Azeez Ojulari, another edge rusher out of Georgia. And honestly, I think Jalen has done so much during his pro days that it upped his rank in the prospects. Out of all of the edge rushers, I think he definitely jumped up a lot than previous expected, as I did have him going 25th overall. But I think it's also because the Dolphins could start working on their defense now, as they can also get some guys to protect Tua and some guys for Tua to throw to. But right now, I think the best option for the Miami Dolphins is a edge rusher. Coming in at number 19, we got the Washington football team still selecting Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker out of Notre Dame. Now, honestly, I think this guy is still the best linebacker at this point still available. And the Washington football team definitely needs to improve that defense to stop teams from scoring on them. Honestly, I think they have to build both their defense and offense, but right now, the main point they need to address here with the 19th overall pick is the defense, and I think Koramoah can actually do that job for the Washington football team. Coming in at number 20, we got the Chicago Bears selecting interior offensive lineman Elijah Vera-Tucker out of USC. Originally had him taking wide receiver Rashad Bateman, but honestly, this guy's still available. I think the Chicago Bears should definitely pick him up for protection, depending on who's the quarterback. I think the answer of that is actually either going to be Nick Foles or Andy Dalton. I think Nick Foles has already lost that job, and Andy Dalton will get his start in 2021, but nothing is set in stone. So Elijah Vera-Tucker will be a key point to protecting whoever will quarterback that team in 2021. With the 21st overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts select interior defensive lineman Christian Barmore out of Alabama. Originally, I had them taking edge rusher Kiwipe out of Michigan. And honestly, I think Barmore now, his draft stock has risen very high, and I think that the Colts would be stupid to pass up on the Alabama defensive tackle Christian Barmore. He'll be a very good run stopper for the Indianapolis Colts, and I do believe that he'll be selected 21st overall. Coming in at number 22, we got the Tennessee Titans selecting wide receiver Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. Originally, I had him taking safety Trevon Moehrig, but I think that this is the best option for the Tennessee Titans, as they need wide receiver help. And yes, Delanie Walker is back with the Tennessee Titans, but Delanie Walker, how successful will he be with the Tennessee Titans now? So I believe taking Bateman would be a very good option for Ryan Tannehill to throw to, as he gives the ball off as well to Derrick Henry. With the 23rd overall pick, the New York Jets select edge rusher Kiwipe out of Michigan. Originally had him taking tight end Kyle Pitts out of Florida. A very outstanding tight end, but why not take an edge rusher that will solidify your team? And honestly, I think Kiwipe will be that definite edge rusher that will help out the New York Jets stop Cam Newton from running to the outside. Also, you got quarterbacks like Josh Allen, and you got Tua Tagovailoa, all three who can run the football. Then you got some backs back there that can do some running as well. And I think that this guy will definitely stop the run from the outside and contain the quarterback. With the 24th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select cornerback Greg Newsome II out of Northwestern University. Originally had him taken running back Travis Etienne out of Clemson. Now, honestly, I know some general managers, some owners are saying, oh, we're just going to start picking them in the second round. But I do believe they're at least going to pick one running back in the first round. That's no doubt in my mind. And honestly, when it comes to the Steelers, they do need help on the cornerback situation. And I think that Greg Newsome will be one of the best options for the Steelers in 2021. Coming in at number 25, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting offensive tackle Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. Originally had him taking Jalen Phillips out of Miami, but most likely due to him not being on the board, I think taking offensive tackle Alex Leatherwood would honestly be some very good protection to have for the number 1 overall pick of this very draft, Trevor Lawrence. And why not start building that offensive line to protect your future franchise quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. With the 26th overall pick, I have the Cleveland Browns selecting edge rusher Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. Now, why do I have them taking an edge rusher still, as I did have an edge rusher, Jason Away, out of Penn State, going to the Browns at 26 in my last mock draft? Why do I still have an edge rusher after them having Myles Garrett and them now signing Jadeveon Clowney to their roster? Why? Why, Mosel? Why would you do this? Well, I honestly think Jadeveon Clowney is not the same Jadeveon Clowney who was drafted first overall by the Houston Texans. Honestly, that is not good enough. And honestly, I do say that he's going to be a very big factor for the Cleveland Browns, but he's not going to be the factor big enough to win Cleveland Browns some more playoff games. Coming in at number 27, we got the Baltimore Ravens selecting safety Trevon Moehrig out of TCU. Originally had him taking Samuel Cosmi out of Texas, the offensive tackle, but I do see that them taking an offensive tackle at this point. But should they? No. I think that Earl Thomas' replacement should come with the 27th overall pick, and Moehrig has proven himself one of the best safeties in this draft and will definitely be selected in the first round. And honestly, I think it's going to be the Ravens to do so. With the 28th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints select edge rusher Joe Tyron out of Washington. Originally had him going with Greg Newsome, but mostly because he's off the board, I think that Joe will be the best edge rusher for the Saints at this point. Yes, you're probably thinking, why not quarterback? Like, they just saw Drew Brees retire. Honestly, I think they can get a quarterback in the later rounds. Maybe they get Kellen Mond. Maybe Kyle Trask. Who knows who they can get in the later rounds? But I think quarterback at this point for the Saints, you'd rather just build a defense and an offense for the future rather than get your quarterback of the future right now. With the 29th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers select wide receiver Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss. And yes, I originally had him taking cornerback Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. And yes, it was mostly because of what happened in the NFC Championship game. But honestly, I think wide receiver help is something that the Green Bay Packers need to work on. And why not take Elijah Moore, one of the top wide receivers coming up from the second round, as I did believe that he was at least second or first round. That's where he's going to be drafted. He's definitely going to be drafted either first or second round. I think that the Packers will take him at the end of the first round, as he will be one of their not key wide receivers, but one of them to help out Aaron Rodgers, or if they go with Jordan Love, Jordan Love. With the 30th overall pick, the Buffalo Bills select running back Najee Harris out of Alabama. Originally, I had him taking wide receiver Terrace Marshall Jr. out of LSU. But due to the fact that they got some excellent wide receivers over there, I think Najee Harris is one of the running backs that will definitely be a key running back for the Buffalo Bills in the future. I do believe he can be the main back, but there's also this play action with Josh Allen. Maybe you can do some play actions with him, or maybe even some read options. You could do something like that with Najee Harris. And honestly, I think that the Buffalo Bills would have their best chance at picking Najee Harris in the first round. Coming in at number 31, we got the Kansas City Chiefs selecting linebacker Damon Davis out of Kentucky. Originally taking defensive tackle Christian Barmore. Due to the fact that he's not only on the board, I think the linebacker could also be another key piece for the Kansas City Chiefs, as honestly, they have been getting killed this season, especially in the playoffs and especially in Super Bowl 55. But to be honest, the entire Kansas City Chiefs team was being smoked. Every single one of them. No matter, everyone says, oh, the refs gave this to Brady or anything. Nah, Brady got a 7th ring. That's no question. And honestly, the linebacker position is one of the positions that the Kansas City Chiefs should be looking at this draft. With the final pick of the 2021 mock draft, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the defending Super Bowl champions, selecting edge rusher Jason Away out of Penn State. Originally, they took running back Javonte Williams out of North Carolina. But I think that honestly, it doesn't matter who they pick because their 22 starters are coming back. But honestly, running back, they shouldn't be picking running back, as they do got Ron Jones and Leonard Fournette back. So I don't really see that as an issue. But edge rusher, that could be an issue, and Jason Away is the best one available at this time. Now that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also, tell me down in the comments below, who is the best player that you think I took in this draft, and who you think should go higher or lower. Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.